So can you please introduce yourself and your role with Doma Theatre Company?
Sure. My name is Mike Abramson. I am the Director of Theatre Operations and a lead producer for Doma Theatre Company.
My name is Kerrigan. I'm playing Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Right.
Yeah. I'm Cassandra Nuss. I'm playing Lucy Harris.
And I am Gildersleeve, and I'm playing Emma Carew.
I'm from Los Angeles. I grew up in West LA. And, you know, classically trained on piano, guitar, voice, percussion, clarinet.
Part of Doma's mission is to present unique interpretations. So, without giving too much away, what's been interesting and unique about the experience and the way that they might be doing something differently?
Emma Carew, you know, she sings these great duets and songs, but her character, as far as the original production goes, there's really not that much substance. At least you don't see, you know, we really don't see anything between Jekyll and her, just what's kind of written. But Marco, our director, he likes to add a little bit. He kind of has this vision, and we have a history. You see it in the very short times that we have on stage together. And especially towards the end of the play, it's very interesting, and I think that's all I'm going to say.
From your characters?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the way that it's written, the characters are sort of written in very broad strokes, and I think in this production, he's brought more intricacies, and there's more, yeah, he's expanded on that stuff more, and it's pretty cool.
I think it's easy in musical theater, and particularly in a piece like this where it is so musically driven. Like there isn't as much like scene time as you would normally see. Like there isn't, like, a lot of the dialogue is sung. You see the conversations through the music, which can be both good and bad. Sometimes it's hard to catch some of the, like they said, like some of the intricacies that go into it, but Marco has done a beautiful job of adding some very nice through lines for all of the characters, and you really actually get to see some development instead of just hearing this beautiful music.
You know, the overall take, I say, was, you know, it's a bit darker, a bit edgier, you know, and you can even hear that in the orchestration, you know, we added electric guitar, you know, just to give an extra kick here and there. And I think it's, you know, done wonders. Can
you give us a little insight into Doma's mission?
Sure. Doma's mission is to enhance the theater experience beyond expectations. And how we do that is we look to really take the audience outside of the everyday world and transform them into the world of the production we're doing.
Getting into makeup, putting microphones on, and then the costuming process will begin, which is going to be long, because there's 26 of us? Is that true? I think there's 26 in this cast, and each person has at least one costume, so, and it's all period dress, so it's going to be an interesting evening, I think.
On the other hand, we want our audiences to leave with something, whether it be a message or a feeling. And, you know, Jekyll and Hyde, you leave with both. You leave with really questioning the difference between good and evil. And that's really with the message, with the feeling, really feeling as though your entire world, your entire wind has been knocked out of you, that you are breathtaking from what you have experienced at the theater that night.
Oh yeah. Sex and violence and lots of murder.
Pretty much sums it up.
lots of things. Awesome. And I know, you know, a lot of the Jekyll Hyde, just story, metaphor, whatever, is about the evil that's inside of everybody. What do you think of that concept of evil and how it's played out in the world and the role of art within it?
I think it's amazing if this story ever were to become reality. If you could separate the two parts within someone, it would probably be not a good thing. It would probably, there'd be a lot of killing, and maybe that's what leads to being psychotic. I don't know. Sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, I think the most obvious metaphor that Jekyll and Hyde is used with is like for addiction and things like that. There's a lot of reference to Jekyll and Hyde in like 12-step literature, and stuff like that, which I think is interesting. So that's kind of the most tangible form of this sort of thing, and that's what interested me initially to this story.
I didn't realize they use it a lot in addiction.
They do, yeah. It's in that literature. Yeah.
Wow.
I just think, like, I mean, again, like the whole, like, everybody has good and everybody has evil, so it's an interesting duality to have to approach as actors, because like some of the scenarios that are presented in the script are very dark. And in order to, what's interesting about it though is that it is so dark, but you have to trust the people that you're on stage with, so you're still pulling a lot of that light, a lot of the light side of your personality into all of those dark things, because going to those places is terrifying. Some of the scenarios that happen in the script are very scary, and a lot of people can really relate to the things that are presented. So, I mean, from an art standpoint, like, it's great to be working with people who are dedicated to not only creating a good show, but to going to that dark place with you, so you don't have to go there alone.
Dr. Henry Jekyll is dating this woman, Emma, who really brings out the best of him, brings the best out of him. And then on the other side of himself, Edward Hyde is dating this woman, Lucy, who's, a whore and, just bad news. And she brings out this, worst side of him. And, I mean, he also shows the kind of effect that people can have on you, And, I think it's relatable. I think a lot of people have a lot of different things going on inside them. Obviously he has very extreme, things going on inside of himself.
I think it's quite relevant, and I think it's incredible how a story from 2 centuries ago, from the 1800s, could really still resonate so much today. In our current society, we are battling good versus evil every day. You look at all the wars, the war in Afghanistan, the war in Iraq, and looking, us as Americans are saying, and the American culture is saying, oh, it's the Middle East's fault, and the Middle Easts are the bad guys, and they're saying we're the bad guys, and Jekyll and Hyde is kind of like that, where you have this one man that really, this evil alter ego just shines out, and it really is, as an audience member, questioning, is Hyde really evil? Or is it just what we as human beings consider evil, or what me as an individual considers evil? Such as what I might think of, something being evil, another person might not think it's evil. And I think Jekyll and Hyde really raises that question. Really, it does make you look into yourself and say, what do I personally consider to be good and evil, and is that different or the same as what someone else considers good and evil? And chances are, I would say it's probably going to be a little different. And that's one of our missions at Doma too, is to really try to get the everyday person into the theater, not just those who come to theater over and over and over.
I would say, the sound of the show is a mix between, I guess, classical and rock. So, if you're interested, I think any music lover will love this. It's complex, but it's also very listenable, the music, and very memorable.
Then how would you like to see a story come alive right in front of you without there being a screen or a monitor or anything like that, or a book? How would you like to see 2 people fight right in front of you? Or how would you like to see choreography and dance on stage right in front of you? That's not edited. That's live, and where if someone does mess up, they can't hide from it. They just have to go forward with that. I find that a lot of times when you present to people who've never been to theater that way, they're like, wow, that sounds really cool. I really want to come see this. It's really bringing out that live element and saying, hey, there's no camera. We don't get a take 2. What happens is what happens on stage. And if someone messes up, if there's an accident or something, it's amazing to watch those actors and watch the people on stage be able to push right through it like nothing.